Greetings. Welcome back for the second part of the finishes for the Sullivan house. In this video, I'm going to go through the two presentations, the painting one, that's what we have here, painting, and the drywall. And we'll continue to work on the spreadsheet here. Let's just get that. So in the previous video, we worked through the specifics of the dining room. So we had all the answers to the dining room, so that's kind of ready to go. Now I just want to jump a little bit back. So we talked about, and we also talked about gathering all the linear feet for the whole building. Now I want to just get back into some specifics about the drywall, what exactly we're looking for. So we talked about the square footage again, so let me just bring that up. So here we have total linear feet around the perimeter, drywall on one side, total linear feet of the interior partitions, drywall on both sides. So that is what we need to see here. Exterior wall, drywall on one, interior, drywall on two. All right. So let me just put in an example. Yeah, let's just say we had 500, and this is going to be in total linear feet. Yes, so that's the run around. So that's exterior, and then let's say we had 1200 here, and then we had drywall on both sides of this. So this number, we could actually just put the 500 down here. Maybe we'll just do it that way. Clear the contents there, and then this will say equals that times the 2. So this is linear feet, and this is linear feet on both sides. So this is total linear feet, and this is the multiplying factor. And then for each, and then we could sum them up, equals that plus that. So kind of goofy maybe the way I wrote it. We could put that over here. Okay, better. Then we have ceiling height, which is 8 feet. And then we have total square foot of gypsum wallboard. So this is equal to the linear feet times the height. And then that is telling me that there are 23,200 square feet of drywall, square feet per sheet is 32. Sheets of gypsum wallboard equals this number divided by the 32. And we need 725 sheets of drywall. Okay, so obviously the numbers that I created, I just picked out of a hat. These two numbers are the numbers that you need to find out. All right, but otherwise this math would all be the same. Okay, so those are my estimates. So again, that is all the way around the exterior, one side drywall, all partitions, two sides. So my numbers are way too big, way too big. All right. Okay, so that's that. Let's just jump right into that drywall here. So let's just see what else we need. Okay, I'm back. I just had to set up the presentation as a PDF so that I could draw over it. Okay, so we're adding some drywall accessories to our drywall. So we have our figure out here again. So you're determining linear feet of wall types, getting us a total linear feet of drywall multiplied by an 8-foot ceiling height gives us total square footage of drywall, divided it by the 32 square feet per sheet, which is 8 by 4, and that tells us that we have 725 sheets of drywall. And I think this is bigger than the house. But let's add some accessories to it. Okay, so we took care of this. This is just discussing the size of it. So 32 for the 4 by 8 sheet. That's what we had. If you had a 4 by 12 sheet, that would be 48. Add 5% waste. We could do that. All right, let's do that. So add 5% waste. So I will put the 0.05 factor, the multiplication factor there. So this is equal to that times that. Enter. That's telling me that I should get an additional 36 sheets. That's a lot of sheets. And then, not like that. So then subtotal, or let's say total. Let's say total gypsum wallboard sheets again. I'll put subtotal here so as not to confuse. And this will equal that plus that. And then we're up to, we'll be rounding up, obviously. Okay, so let's just keep going. So estimate drywall tape. So multiply, so drywall tape. Let's look at a picture of drywall going up, actually. So here we see some images of just laying out drywall. So here's the drywall going up. So the tape is what surrounds it, that white that is being put on. Yeah. Nobody's taping, but that's anyway, that's what's happening. So there's tape that goes around all 4 sides, but so you want to figure out how many linear feet around a sheet. So that's going to be 8, 4, 8, 4. So that's 8, 16, 24 linear feet around a sheet, but you can't double count it and count every sheet. So what I say is do half of it. So it's one sheet is going to be 8. Let me go back to my one sheet is going to be 8 by 4 by 8 by 4. This is linear feet now, right? When we're doing the middle, if we want to figure out the square footage, let me just make sure we're clear on this. If we're doing the square footage and we want to know how many square feet go in here, we're multiplying the 4 by the 8 and we're getting 32 square feet. That's the square footage. That's everything in here. Here, what we're trying to talk about is the perimeter, just the perimeter, because that's where the tape goes. And that's what we saw in that picture. That's what that is, the tape around the perimeter. So we don't care about the overall square footage. We have to talk about the linear feet around. So it's going to be 8 feet plus 4 feet plus 8 feet plus 4. 8, 12, 20, 24 linear feet around the perimeter. Anyway, long story short, I said let's count only half of it, which is 12. Okay, so for every sheet of drywall we're going to buy 12 feet of tape. 12 feet of tape for every sheet of drywall. So then we could just keep going down here. So, so this is drywall tape. 12 linear feet per sheet. I'll just put the 12 there. I'm going to change this. See how easy this is. Numbers. Let's get rid of that. All right, so it rounded down, but that's fine. All right, so we have, this is a big number there. So that's our number of sheets. And now let's do equals that times that, enter, and this is drywall tape, linear feet. So that's what we need, is 9,135 linear feet of drywall tape. All right, and when we get to the end, I'm going to let you say how many rolls that is. I want to see that number. I want to see that number, but you could determine the number of rolls. All right, so that's another important number. All right. Yeah, these are all the important numbers, I would say, that you have to, that I want to see, and yours should all be similar. Okay, so that's that. All right, now let's do joint compound. So this is what the tape we put on top of it. So ready mix 5 gallon, that's what we see there. And buckets required, divide the area by 400. The area by 400. Okay, so this is for joint compound, the area by 400. Let's add that to the sheet. So, joint compound, area by 400 square feet. And the area of our drywall is here. Total square feet. That's that number right there. All right, that's where we had our linear feet times our height, so that's 23,200. 23,200 divided by 400. So you could do this. You could do it like this. It's simple enough, and just give me one answer though. And what did we say? This is going to be 5 gallon buckets. 5 gallon buckets. So make that clear. 5 gallon buckets. And then we will say, I still just want to make it 2,300 divided by the 400. Yeah, I would make this look good and make it do the math, because if this changes, then it's this number right here. So the smartest way to do this while we're here, let's do it the right way. So I'm going to put the dividing factor here, and I'm going to say this equals that divided by the 400. And that tells me that I need 58 buckets. 58 buckets. So quite a few. So that's another number that we need. And the further back we keep hooking these numbers back to the originals, then if this number, right, this number is a product of these numbers. So if I come and now at this point I change this, it changes all the way down to the buckets. All right, so that's what you really want to accomplish, is walk through this step by step like this. All right. Okay, so that's how many buckets we need. Now let's do nails and screws. Nails and screws. So nails, we are dividing the square footage by 800. Screws, we are dividing it by 400. Okay, nails and screws. So I'm just going to keep going. Nails by 400 square feet. Put the 400 there. Screws by 800 square feet. And this, I could write it all out. I could write it on a single line, but I kind of like to break out the information. So did I get that right? Less nails. No. Yes, less nails. That's why we're dividing by a bigger number. So nails 800 will give us less nails. Nails by 800. So no, I reversed my numbers. Yes. That's why it's good to keep notes. Okay. So one more time, equals that number divided by that number. And is that right? Pounds. Pounds of nails we're buying. Okay, so we're going to have some faith in that formula, obviously, because it's not telling us like the exact number of nails we're buying by the pound. So whoever put this formula together, we're putting our faith in them, because that's not really how we figure it out. It is how you could buy it. You could buy them in 5-pound buckets, but does this 800 truly equal that? Again, that's somebody else's formula in that regard. So let's just go back, and nails by the pound. I would just put it like right there pretty much, or just below. Okay, and one more time. Square foot. All right, so equals square footage divided by the 400. And yes, we have twice as many pounds of screws as we do nails, and that makes sense. Typically when we fasten drywall, I learned that nails only go in the let me see, where's that? I have a picture of them. Nails only go along these seams where there's a dimple, nowhere else. That's the only place the nail would go. And screws would be all filling in the field here. And there's specific specifications as to where they go. Okay, and corner beads. I'll let you count corner beads. So corner beads occur at the corners, inside and out. Okay, so we're not going to do prices. We'll just do quantities. There's a corner bead, there's the compound, the drywall, tape, screws, nails. So corner beads go at the corners, outside corners, and inside corners. Separate those out. So inside corners, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the room. So do they all have 4? That looks like 4. There's another here, but then we have an outside corner there, outside corner, outside corner. So you get the point. You have to count every one of them. They come in 8-foot lengths. They stand right up. Okay, that takes care of the drywall portion of it. I just want to look at the paint as well and see if there's any additional information. So we've talked about paint going back to here, back to the dining room specifically, where we did the total square feet of that's the floor actually. Walls, we had the heights, so we did the linear feet of each wall, height, so we have the total square feet of each of the walls. So let's do here equals, I can do parenthesis, that group, and parenthesis, enter. All right, I don't know what just happened there. That's a mess. Equal, yeah, hold on. Equal sum. No, this shouldn't be so hard. Equal sum parenthesis numbers end parenthesis enter. There we go. That's the number we're looking for. Okay, total square feet of the walls. So this will get us to the paint. All right, so these are our paint numbers really, and then this was the dining room, and it is grouped with the kitchen. All right, other rooms to group together. So you'll figure out each room, and then you have